This particular one, Okyeame Kwame featuring Bertha, right?
Bertha.
Yes. Yeah. But she was Bertha.
Right. Yeah.
I always call her Bertha. And this particular song, every single wedding, you will hear this song being played there, and that should tell you how beautiful it was and how a lot of people love it. But over 10 years down the line, I mean, we still love it. Sounds extremely good.
More than 10 years.
Yeah, more than 10 years.
Yeah.
More than 10 years. And we are honored, privileged, and very excited. Yeah, to have the one and only.
Made in Ghana.
Hey!
The only made in Ghana.
Okyeame Kwame!
Blah, 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 blah.
Okyeame, looking at you now, and the you we saw in that video, there's no difference.
Yeah, I've lost hair.
Okyeame Kwame doesn't grow, man.
You are not growing.
Thank you.
Doesn't grow.
How are you keeping up? How is it that, I mean, you still look like a Gen Z?
Big question. So I think it's food.
Food?
It's food, huh?
Yeah. So I eat once a day.
How?
I eat once a day. So I eat a big meal in the afternoon. So I just ate my breakfast about 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
So I eat a very big meal in the afternoon. I don't eat again. And maybe when it's around 5, I'll eat an avocado or a mango or 2 oranges. I'm done.
How do you survive?
Yes, we don't need that much food, you know. They eat 3 times a day. All that is.
So food is not good for us?
Food is good. Like very, very good food is good. I mean, whole food, plant-based food is good. If you eat like that, you know, unless maybe you are an athlete or you are working out to go for Olympics or something, then you need a lot of food because you are burning a lot. But if you are in a car with a chauffeur at the air, you know, in the office with air conditioning, and you live a very sedentary lifestyle, you don't walk anywhere. Why are you eating
so much?
For what? Because it's just a fuel for the car. You are not moving the car. So if the fuel is in the car and you don't move it and you keep adding more fuel, then it will spill over. They will become
fat,
visceral fat, obese, and hypertension, and insulin resistance, and cardiovascular. All that is food.
Absolutely. And I think that for people who want to lose weight or even maintain their figure and all of that, food is the basic one.
Yes, it's food.
Even before exercise comes in.
Yes, it's food.
Well, you look great.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you.
Okyeame Kwame, after 26 years, you're relevant. I mean, you can compete with the youngins. Recently at the TGMEs, you were hopping and dancing, and I'm like, wait, is that really Okyeame Kwame? How have you been able to sustain this relevance in over 26 years?
I think that the key thing for art is it doesn't thrive when there's the presence of the ego. Wherever there's art, there's love. Wherever there's love, there's passion. Wherever there's ego, there's dangerous passion. You know, so the art must live in love, where an artist, who is just a conduit, a vessel, is allowing the art to pass through him. Now, immediately, there's the presence of the ego. I am the artist of the year. I am the Okyeame Kwame. Then you limit your art to just what you think is art. So management, fans, people can no longer critique what you are doing. So even if you are doing something that's not relevant, something that is not dope, something that doesn't connect or that create a contact, no one can tell you. You know, so I think allowing myself to be a vessel for the art to pass through me without any form of attachment to the art. If it's not good, it's not good. If we release, people don't like it, we do another one. We are not going on blaming people, you know, trying to force it down on people. I think that's it. And then also allowing myself to be managed. So I've always keep management of very young people, 21, 22, 23. They tell me what's trendy, what's not. You know?
Okay. What's not?
Exactly. So if they say, and you're there, if they say, this is not work, this will not work, it will not work. We just throw it away and do something else. And then apart from that is also the God factor. Because for an artist to be an artist for a long time, it must be like a career. So there's a big difference between a job and a career. a career banker is doing banking all her life. If you are trying to do banking small to understand money, you are just going to be a teller for a while and then go and do business. That's your job. I'm a career musician.
Full-time.
Full-time. I'm a career musician. And therefore, because I'm a career musician, I conduct myself as such. And the God factor, you know, morality, ethics, all that, you can find it when you are well aligned.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
And so all those things play a role. And I also work out.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to.
Yes.
No, man. But that's free consultation for you guys out there, by the way.
Yes.
Eat well, work out.
Work out.
Yeah.
Okyeame, you have...
And don't let your ego come into your relationship, into your work. Find a good place to hide your ego.
True.
Okyeame, you have seen different generations, if I'm allowed to say that. I know generation is a period of 100 years, but we keep saying generations, right? From Masanabo to Weyasabaso, Amanfo, Unim Sama, Saso. You know, you've seen that generation where you started from with hip life, and then there was the... then came the Azontos.
Yes, and there was the crank.
There was the period.
Yes.
And all that. And we are in the Afrobeats.
Yes, there was
generation.
Also
we will relive some with you, but which of these periods would you say
Your
was
favorite?
music's strongest and your favorite?
My favorite, wow. My favorite period in hip life, was the Jama time.
Jama time.
Yes, I like Jama as a hip life sound. It breaks my heart that we no longer play it because that's the time when Castro, Brass, JQ, and not just Jake. So there was a time Zap was producing, JQ was producing, Morris was producing, Aketus was producing. These were the top producers at the time, and they had fused high life music with the Ghana sound, and it was vibrant. It was beautiful. It was musical. I liked it. That was my favorite.
My goodness, those are the Shiloh.
Yes.
I would have never thought that was your favorite period.
I think it's like, you know, the beginning part, you know.
I like the beginning part. That one was more Kumasi.
Yeah.
Maybe I like the Ghana fusion because it was outside of my experience. So I didn't know it. But the beginning was more Kumasi. Most of the artists were Kumasi, Lord Kenya, Swazi B, Reggie Rockstone, Seko, or you know. So I sort of liked it, but
the Jama was the thing for you.
It was such a job that you definitely have to know how to sing it and vibe to it. But looking back, sometimes when you sit down and think about some of these songs, what are some of the things you think about?
I think about, especially when I listen to those songs, I think, what could I have changed?
Yeah.
Is there something I didn't do in that song? So I don't like listening to my song. To listen to my song, because when I listen, it gets me into the work mood. I'm unable to enjoy it, except a few songs of mine. But when I listen, I say, I should have done this here. I should have done that here. Should I do a remix of it? Should I leave it alone? Would a remix destroy its legacy? Things like that. But I like it. I like to listen to some old songs of mine. And I also sometimes use it to evaluate the contribution of that particular song. And it also marks history for me. It marks time for me. Where was I? What was I doing mentally at this time when I released this song? Why was it? Why did I have the energy that I'm unable to produce the same energy? Now what happened? Is it because me? You know, things like that. Yes.
One of the things that catches my attention when it comes to you and your craft and your videos is how modest you are. I want to be careful with what I'm asking. You know, in terms of, it's not explicit. You are very modest. Because I feel like you've always known you're going to be an ambassador for Ghana or something. So you make sure that you are not projecting too much of, you know, the Western world. You're doing more of our culture. And our women too in the videos, you're making sure that it's not, you know, overly, it's not explicit. I mean, what informed
you know,
choices?
I want to say, so I have a Bible trained conscience. My parents are Christians. I grew up in a Christian home, and my father was an accountant, was a disciplinarian, and my mother is a teacher. So I'm very fortunate to grow up where both parents are around and each one turning you in a certain direction. So when I'm creating my culture is very, very important. When I say culture, I don't just mean drumming and dancing and kente. I also mean ethics, taboos, what is socially acceptable and all. It's very important to me that in the next 20 years, my children will pick my stuff and say, Daddy, did you do this? This is completely opposite what you told us. You know, I want that when a mother, father, and teenagers are in a car driving to Kumasi, they can just play my music without the parents being afraid that, oh, the artist might say something that will disrupt, you know, my children's line of thinking. So I think it's just, I'm fortunate to have parents who introduced me to what culture is early, and I accepted it and allowed it to pass through me, you know, to come into my music. I think I'm just fortunate, to be honest, to be able to see beyond. So when we did this video, this was a video. You see that the part where the girls were wearing miniskirts, but the part where they turned their back, we wrote rap doctor on it. So that it will not be
Oliver, go back.
Be explicit. So you see, yes, this is in 2009.
2009.
Wow. Exactly. So you see that where the girls were shaking,
they were this orange and white outfit.
We put rap doctor on it to make it, to lower the level of explicit stuff.
Oliver will take it back there.
That's what's there.
Oh, this is
so I've always been, and then I think that I will also thank Okyeame Kwame, Honorable Mark, because he was the first person that introduced Okyeame to me to brand consciousness. And then he said, I remember the first time I heard the word brand, he said, this is in 97, he said, I'm going to brand you guys as the guys next door. So that, and give you the image that if a girl took you home and told their dad that this is my boyfriend, they would not say, what? You know, I remember clearly, you know, so that also stuck with me. And then I grew up thinking, okay, if this is what differentiates me from my group and it makes me stand out, is good for positioning, then, and it's working. Let me stay there.
Why not?
Yes.
But I mean, talking about Okyeame, you and Okyeame Kofi, that collaboration was one of the best we've seen in the country so far. But talking about the group, have you guys in recent times ever thought of maybe coming back together?
Like something? P-Square did, like...
just maybe.
We talk all the time. We talk all the time, and the difficult thing is we have done some recordings. We didn't put it out because once we've done the recording, you put it out and then what?
Is it recently?
Yeah, we've done some recordings. We have done some recordings that we've not put out. But if you put it out, then we must stop whatever you're doing to chase it together, to now play shows together, to do stuff together like that. I think that we have both not come to terms with how important it is and how fun that will be. But sometimes I call him up on stage. You see, the BGMA, I was to perform Masanaba with him, but he had an emergency. That's why I chose Woso instead. So it was Masanaba. And also in December, during my Hip Life party on the 25th December, I always also ask him to come on stage. And it's always fun. I know that if we do something, it will be amazing. We just have not brought ourselves together, you know, to do it.
Well, you too.
Look at that.
Video.
Was this Step?
No, this video is, I think it's Phyllis the Cat. Step wasn't a part of it. It's Phyllis the Cat.
But who came up with this concept? I mean, this whole idea of
being in the water
and not wet. I don't remember. This is like 25 years ago. I don't remember. I think it will be Elankra.
Wow.
Okay. To be Elankra, who was our manager at that time.
You know, you've passed through some really good hands.
Yes.
Elankra, Okyeame, this is
Abraham Ohinijan.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this music video, anyways. Well,
the rap is coming. This is the rap that we all memorize. Let's go.
I think it's one of Nash Oko's favorites.
Come on,
around, from the hood to $10 video done to my partner, be proud. I'm myself for what need to show. Tim say you, my crowd, myself, no what you proud. She of our penny, one sunset, we see my body, we got music, it kind of shower. This is Okyeame, what's in your name to send me well. Okyeame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then there was Yogi Dogi. Oh man. Wow, oh man. I mean, for a little guy boy or guy boy who didn't really understand tree, but I could rap.
Yeah.
Okyeame's rap from beginning to end. It was just amazing. Okyeame, you are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
But you live in a generation. I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead. I'm so back to the culture thing. I wonder how you feel, going through all these great people that have managed you and have raised you, and it's reflected in your works. But you live in a generation where now these things are easily available online, social media, the explicit. You see women, How do you manage with your kids? How do you give them the same training that you were giving in a time like this?
Big question. Because now you know that the devil in the home is no longer alcoholism and drugs and theft. It's the phone in their hands. The tab, the laptop. Because immediately you move, they watch what they are watching in incognito. So it is really it's really tough, to be honest. It is really, really, really tough because these children are going to use these very gadgets to produce, because the way that we studied is over. I remember 30 years ago, if you could spell immediately, you were intelligent. But now, everything that the children want is just go to Google or AI, and it's there. So they don't even need to memorize stuff. So they can use their brains for other creative things, or they can use it for pleasure and entertainment. So for me, the child, I'm not saying that I have succeeded. It's a big struggle for me at home. But for me, the challenge is to get the children to become a bit more meditative. Because I don't beat my children. I don't.
Really?
No, I don't beat. I don't shout.
How do you correct them?
I take away their tab.
And that's it.
I take the tab, they will have the same withdrawal symptoms as though you are taking it out, So I take the tab, or we are going to New York this summer, you are not coming.
Oh, wow.
We are going to so, exactly.
You need a third one.
Because you can adopt us. Trust me. I'll throw tantrums. Take me to New York, please. It's fine.
Things like that. So I punish them. But I don't physically, because I've seen the literature. It doesn't lead. It's one of the key reasons why Africans are where we are. It causes overthinking, and it lowers
absolutely
our ability to initiate stuff because we are afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
So it's really tough for me. But I think for me, it's a conversation. Is to get the children to become a bit more meditative, and also to get them to spend time with themselves without the gadgets. So it's a timetable for me.
Okay.
So we do a timetable. You are learning from maybe 4 hours on vacation, and out of the rest of the 8 hours that is left, you are going to do physical playing, basketball, tennis,
that's
whatever,
beautiful.
physical.
Yeah.
And maybe you are going to be on the tab or on your phone for 2 hours.
Okay.
After which, if you have nothing to do, you don't rest, lie down, sleep. So because if you leave them with the phone, they won't do anything physical, and it will come back to even hurt their health and their cognitive function. But it is not easy. Immediately you take off your eye.
Yes. This year, we're also celebrating Otum for, say, to the second, his 25th anniversary.
Yes.
And in celebrating that, you decided to collaborate with Kwame Eugene.
Yes.
Not just that, but you've given us an absolutely beautiful video.
Thank you.
But why did you decide to celebrate His Royal Majesty?
For me, at this level of my career, or in my career, I've come to see that, okay, how can I impact the youth positively through my art? Because you know that art is science simplified. Science is art made complicated. So I've seen that a lot of the things, like conversations about climate change or hepatitis or all these conversations, children are usually not very interested in, or young people, because it's not fun. They are driven by cool and pleasure and swag. So how do I bring the tradition and the culture, reintroduce it to them? How do I reintroduce Adwa to the youth without telling them that, hey, check this out, we used to do this back then, and it is what we are supposed to be drawing from. It's not a speech, it's just visuals, because Africans are very, very pictorial people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just finding a way to show the swag and the tradition, you know, so that they can say, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, give me a Kente bomber jacket.
This is really cool. What you're wearing?
Thank you, but
XL there.
I didn't hear you.
Don't you have an XL?
Oh,
This is really cool.
made it. Thank you. I can tell him to make one. So what I'm trying to do is to bring the conversation about Otumfuo's 25th to the youth without telling them.
Okay.
You know, so, and the best way to do is through music and through visuals. And I'm also thinking of, okay, if a teenager is born in Germany or in New York or in London, he's never been to a wedding before, he's never been to a traditional outdooring before, how can they experience this? Okay, let's put it in the music video. That's what we are doing.
Oh,
So beautiful.
Very,
So
very,
beautifully
very
done with our Edinkra symbols, the outfits, the colors.
The Ghana star, the red, gold, and green.
But who
shot this video?
Yeah, who shot it?
I did.
You shot it?
I directed it myself. This one, yes. I did. It
How?
will come. Yes, with Berima Watson. So Berima, I did all the scripting, the story writing, the storyboarding, and then he did the technical work.
Okay.
Yeah, but Fifi did the DOP.
Okay.
So it's a team, but this is my vision. I directed it
It's so
myself.
beautiful. And is Otumfuo aware of this? I mean,
Yes. Please.
okay.
Yes. Please.
Yes, and I know they definitely will appreciate this particular one. Looks
Yes.
absolutely
And big up to
beautiful.
Media Force in as well.
Yes, they said, how's your beautiful Jane? You know. And then you see the guy in the mask.
Yeah.
It also represents a certain canker in our society where every time there's something beautiful happening, there's another person who is hiding behind, I am sick, I am drunk, I'm a thief, I'm something, who is destroying the whole thing. But when we find that person, we unmask that person. Let's not throw them away. Let's clothe them in culture. Let us forgive them. Let us bring them back into our fold. And so that's why when we catch him, he lets the thing fall down. And then we catch him. Instead of throwing him away, we put the kente around him to make him one of us.
Oh.
You know,
So
this is
that's,
like
that's the whole.
yeah,
Wait, is that Okyeame?
exactly. But still, there's still small Jimmy inside. That's the video.
I'm really glad that. I mean, you explained this to us. 'Cause I would have never thought that is what it meant.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely
Strong,
beautiful.
strong.
Wow,
Charlie,
Chavi.
congratulations. And
Yeah.
we wish you best. This
Yeah.
is
Thank
really
you.
good work.
This
This is
song-
on all streaming platforms, I'm sure.
Yes, please. It's
We can
everywhere.
check
So
it out. And
go
then-
to YouTube and watch it. I want this song to win an award.
Beautiful.
Not because I am
TGMAs
greedy.
or-
Yes, TGMA. Not because I'm greedy, but I want the traditional stuff to also be recognized
Yeah.
and made pop culture,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that the youth will
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in the youth liking our tradition, view it, share it, and let's give it to the youth.
But you and Kwame Eugene, there's something about you two.
Yeah, collaborations. Huh?
I know we're going to have more collaborations between you two. That collaboration,
The Kwame
yeah,
thing,
Kwame.
the Kwame thing.
Yeah, there's something about it.
It's a
Keep it
certain
coming
bond.
because
Thank you.
we
thank
love
you,
it.
thank
We
you.
love
I
it.
love Kwame.
Yeah.
I love Kwame.
We love him too,
Thank
and we
you,
love you.
Okyeame.
Thank you.
Kwame, thank you so much
Thank
for
you. It is a
coming.
very, very beautiful interview. I'm really honored. It's what a beautiful way to spend my afternoon.
Aw.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
You're
you.
honored. You're very honored. And that was, of course, Okyeame Kwame. Of course.
Yeah, we have business
entertainment
and
coming up.
business.
But today we have business.
Yeah, and we're having the
A new
honorable.
face. A new face on the show.
Honorable Menu Afu will be joining us.
I like honorable.
Yeah, Honorable Menu Afu will be joining us. We're wondering which constituency or
Yeah, TV3.
TV3.
Yeah.
Adesawe.
Yes.
Kanda.
please. Yeah. Stay
Well,
with
she will
us.
be joining us with business, and so we're coming back after this break.